I shouldn't have come back alone. It's my first visit since my wife passed away. We used to rent this place every other summer. It's where we got together, although it didn't happen till our second summer here. I knew memories of her would haunt this place, but I thought I'd feel connected to her, not consumed by her absence. I'm contemplating going home when the doorbell startles me. I'm not expecting anyone, and this place is off the grid. There are other cabins about a mile in both directions, so maybe someone is lost looking for one of those. My breath catches when I open the door to find her looking up at me. My Libby, not a day older than she was that first summer, she's returned to me. My euphoria is quickly replaced by the empty yet violent sense of loss I've felt since her death. It's not her. The nose is slightly too broad, the lips too full, but the eyes are hers. I wonder if Libby had a baby before we met, but no, she would have told me. Is Elizabeth here? The girl mumbles. There's something strange about her voice. She looks frightened. Such terror doesn't belong in those eyes. Who are you? I ask. I need Elizabeth. I'm sorry, but she passed away from cancer last year. How did you know her? Silent tears stream down her face. I've never met her, but my dad said I should come here if there was an attack, and I escaped and he didn't. Now I've got no one. I realize what's wrong with her voice. I can't place the accent. It doesn't match any country I'm aware of. It's unlike anything I've ever heard. I ask, how old are you? 16. What's your name? Atlas. Atlas. It's a common name where I'm from. I nod, trying to think where Atlas would be a common name. Well, Atlas, I'm John. Was Elizabeth your sister or another relative? She was my mom, Atlas replies. This confirms my initial thought, but it's not possible. We couldn't have children because of me. We were weighing up IVF versus adoption when she got the diagnosis, and life as we knew it was over. Libby desperately wanted a baby. We both did, but we were happy. I know my wife. She wouldn't have lived as contently as we did if she had a daughter she couldn't contact. I also know beyond a doubt she would have told me. Who is your father? I already know what she's gonna say, but it makes the idea that Libby had a baby even more impossible. My father was Lucius. I should probably tell you about that first summer. We were 16, the age Atlas is now. It was our first time renting this place, but we instantly felt at home with the cabin itself and the surrounding lake and forest. My brother Dave was with us, and two of Libby's friends, Cassie and Mabel. We enjoyed the 2 lazy, idyllic days before he turned up. He came to the door after dark, claiming to be lost, but I instantly distrusted him. He was in the complete wrong area for where he said he was trying to go. Only an idiot would get so far off track. He also had no bike, car, or method of transportation. People hike around here or camp with gear, but not walk from one place to another in a 3-piece suit carrying nothing. The weirdest part was how the girls acted around him. Libby and I had started to get close, and I thought she liked me, but as soon as he turned up, I was forgotten entirely. Cassie and Mabel were a couple. I thought they were devoted to each other, but Cassie suddenly had eyes solely for Lucius. She's bisexual, I'm heterosexual, but I can recognize an attractive man. I wasn't drawing over him like Libby and Cassie, but I was aware he was exceptional. Libby offered him a bed for the night, despite my protests. Mabel was also dead against it, and she went home when Cassie continued to flaunt herself in front of Lucius. Our guest left the next morning. Libby was in a low mood after that. Cassie seemed embarrassed by her behavior the night before, and left to repair things with Mabel. I felt slightly confused after Lucius's departure. I wonder why I thought he was so exemplary. I didn't understand how his presence had been so commanding. He seemed terribly average to me now. After a few days, we were once more enjoying our stay. Libby cheered up and we began getting close again. Dave said he felt like a third wheel without Cassie and Mabel there. One night, I got up for a glass of water and found the front door wide open. It was warm enough to have the door open, and with the cable being so remote, it was unlikely we'd be burgled, but we always locked the door at night just in case. I got an immediate sense of foreboding. I cautiously went outside, hoping someone couldn't sleep and was sitting out on the porch, but nobody was on the decking or anywhere in sight. I decided to check on the others. Libby wasn't in her bed. I ran to Dave's room and woke him. We went looking for Libby in and around the cabin, but we couldn't find her. She didn't respond to our yells. There was limited signal, but that didn't matter because Libby had left her phone behind. We called the police using the landline in the cabin. The authorities weren't too concerned at first, but when she wasn't back the following night, they arranged a search party for the morning. Locals volunteered to help, and Cassie and Mabel came back. We combed the woods for miles. Divers searched the lake, but there was no trace of her. One police officer seemed to suspect me and Dave, so I was getting extremely worried about that on top of Libby's well-being. She returned just after midnight that night. She didn't understand why we were so relieved to see her. When we asked where on earth she'd been, she had no recollection of the past 2 days. She claimed she went outside for a breath of fresh air 15 minutes ago. It took us ages to convince her we weren't joking, and she really had been gone 2 days. I think it was only when the police came around in the morning to question her that she fully believed us. A paramedic examined her and concluded there was no sign anything was physically or mentally wrong, but that she should go to the hospital for thorough tests. Libby agreed to an appointment the next day, and the doctors there deemed her healthy. She went missing again 2 weeks later. We didn't contact the police. I wanted to, but we were worried they'd blame us. Dave convinced me that she'd come back safely again if we waited. Mabel and Cassie seemed to reluctantly agree. Dave was right. She returned a few agonizing days later, again with no memory of the lapsed time. But this time was different. Previously, she was her usual upbeat self after she returned. This time, she was deeply depressed. She didn't want to talk about it, but she told me she felt like something was missing, like something important had been taken from her. She gradually started feeling better over the next few weeks. I had suggested going home in case she went missing again, but with Cassie and Mabel back, the others wanted to enjoy the holiday. The rest of our stay was uneventful. This was where the story ended. Libby never remembered what happened during the lost time, and she never blacked out like that again. I had no reason to think of Lucius. When he occasionally crossed my mind, he was just a strange but seemingly harmless encounter from long ago. Was your father involved in Libby's disappearance that summer? I asked Atlas. Yes, my dad was an incubus. The time my mom couldn't remember would have been when she was on our ship, the first time being impregnated with me, the second when the embryo was removed. How could an embryo so young survive? We have incubators far superior to the ones on Earth. Also, I'm not human. I'm not a succubus either. That's the female equivalent of the incubus. Only 40% of fetuses get the gene, so I'm more like a human than a demon. But it's how our children are born, or were. My planet is gone now. Your planet, I say, trying to compute what she's saying. I feel like I should be dismissing her claims as crazy, but something rings true. Between her obvious resemblance to Libby, the puzzling encounters with Lucius, and Libby's blackouts, I believe her. What happened to your planet? There was a war. We only had moments to get away. My dad was too far from the escape pod. I saw other pods, but I'm not sure how many came to Earth for refuge. Some probably went to the old Predoria. I nod as if I know what or where that is. It's bizarre Lucius assumed Libby would be here all these years later, but he was very odd. and possibly unaware of how things work on Earth. A more unsettling thought is that he kept tabs on us. Atlas starts sobbing violently. "What am I going to do?" she cries. I take her hand. "Your mother was the love of my life," I tell her. "A daughter of hers is a daughter to me."
Hello, I'm Justine. I write the stories for this channel. Thank you for listening to the end. I haven't done one of these voiceovers in a while because I never really know what to say, but I've actually got something to tell you this time. I'm going to be launching a monthly email newsletter soon. It will have updates on new videos and my writing projects in general, and it's another way for us to keep in touch just in case something beyond my control went wrong with the channel. Some of you probably remember MySpace, where people lost all their listeners and followers overnight, so I think it's a good idea to have some sort of way to keep in contact. The link to sign up is in the description. It's completely free to sign up. Thanks again for listening, and thank you to Mr. Revenant for narrating this story, and I will catch you in the next one.